Our week-long look at missing person cases in East Texas takes us to Mount Enterprise, just to our south. February the 15th, 2012 was the last time that James Tidwell Jr. was seen.
5 years later, his family is keeping his story alive, asking anyone with information to come forward, including one person in particular. KTK's Daniel Pierce has the story.
Did not voluntarily, willingly walk off that property.
Why would a man leave behind his glasses, truck, and simply vanish? The question remains on the minds of investigators and family members of James Tidwell Jr.
We don't have answers to what happened between point A and point B.
The 58-year-old lived in Mount Enterprise in Rusk County, just south of Henderson. He and his wife stayed in a cabin they were building. He would travel to Longview several days a week to work at an electric company.
He did not miss work. He was loyal to his employer.
His sister, Lynn Aiken, has been taking notes ever since her brother disappeared.
It helps me keep things in chronological order. It also helps me to relieve the stress.
According to her and authorities, February 15th, 2012 was the last time Tidwell had been seen. He had worked the overnight shift at his job and had left to go home at 5:30 that morning. He reportedly told his employer he would come back later in the afternoon. However, that evening, nothing.
Flanders called Jimmy's house and talked to Carol, his wife. She told them that he had been up working on taxes all night. She would not wake him up and refused to do so.
According to records, a week went by without Tidwell showing up for work. On February 20th, his employers contacted authorities asking them to check on him, but no one was home. They called again on February 28th. That's when it was discovered something was wrong.
Sergeant Robert Steinauer said that they was on Jimmy's property and they suspected he was missing.
There were no signs of Tidwell at his house, no indication of foul play. Officers would find his truck around 5 miles from his house. It had been parked on the side of the road for days near the intersection of State Highway 315 and FM 95.
Car was pulled over off the road, absolutely at a proper parking angle. Nothing was found in his vehicle, inside the vehicle, except his eyeglasses laying on the seat.
Has this right here changed a whole lot, this roadway, or is it?
No, the roadway is pretty much the same. It's just grown up.
Tidwell's wife, Carol, told officers she had been staying with family in Nacogdoches due to the cabin still being under construction. She said she last saw her husband on February 24th, 4 days before he was reported missing. The following days, officers searched a 5-mile radius in deep wooded areas, but no signs of him ever found. Their report, someone left his car on the side of the road around February 28th. Tidwell then was gone.
It just didn't happen that way.
Rusk County Sheriff's Office tells Carol Tidwell Jimmy's wife has never been charged, and to their knowledge she had nothing to do with this. But Aiken argues she knows more than she's telling.
The stories just kept scrambling. I did not see Jimmy on that Friday, but she had called and talked to him. A few minutes later, Carol said she did not talk to Jimmy on that Friday, but she had come by the house and she had seen him feeding the chickens.
Aiken says those comments were made just days after Tidwell went missing. Rusk County Sheriff's Office confirmed Miss Tidwell was interviewed, but they could not confirm if her stories ever changed.
I can't prove it. We don't have a body. We don't have a crime scene. But that's what I feel in my heart, and I'm entitled to say. And the fact remains, he's still missing.
Tidwell's case remains open. His sister still waiting for answers.
For a peace of mind, for a long, long time, I would come out here and I would walk up and down the edge of the highway. I would look for anything in the ditches I could find. I would call his name, just hoping that I could find something. Where and when? Is the vehicle really parked here? Is the vehicle planted here?
Rereading her notes of events and holding on to the memories of the man who was always there for her.
Jimmy's handwriting on Christmas before he disappeared in February. This will be with me till the day I die.
Always hoping her brother would come back to her.
Life goes on, but you never stop looking. You never stop asking. You never stop wondering. It never goes away.
Daniel Pierce, KETK News.
The Rusk County Sheriff's Office says the $3,000 reward is still up for any information which leads to them finding Mr. Tidwell. And